Okay, hello everyone. Today I am doing D&D, but this time we are doing the backstories for each of the characters. You possibly have already seen the backstory for uh, good old Twinton there, the rogue. And now we're going to be doing the backstory of the folk hero, Tristan Bradly, and his current journey to the town of the town of Bara. Well, village, rather. Okay, Tristan, you stand. You've just stepped out of the forest and you see Bara. It's right there. It's a rather large village. In fact, it actually has a mayor, rather than a reeve. It's got its actual government placed right here in the village.
Is this a walled village, or is this just open up to anyone can slip in if need be?
It is near the orcs, so there is a palisade around it, but the walls, the gates themselves are open. They only close them if they see orcs coming in.
I'm guessing they also close them at night as standard.
Well, yeah, yes, of course.
Right, I make my way towards the village without.
You walk towards it. There's a couple of guards, wearing kind of a mishmash of armor and weapons. You can tell they're more local militia than actual guards. They just kind of wave as they see you, and you just walk right in. None of them bother stopping you. So.
Right, what's the nearest building of particular interest that might catch my fancy?
I mean, the nearest building would possibly be the carpenter that is just up ahead on their left.
Similar to how my father's trade was. Let's see here. Yeah, I should probably check for a place to stay for the night, just in case things turn differently.
Oh, so you're heading for the inn/tavern?
Yeah, just to set up there, and then afterwards head through town afterwards. Because there's no point in wandering through the town without a place to stay.
Yeah, so you head to the tavern, and there is a woman who looks rather distressed, trying to handle all of the orders, seemingly almost by herself. There's one other barmaid that is with her, but she is kind of currently in a bit of a crisis mode, because there's a lot of people who are waiting for their meals and drinks, and she's kind of running back and forth between the kitchen and the alcohol and the counter to see if there's more customers. You approach the desk, and a few minutes pass, and she walks right up to you, and she's like, "Hi, what can I get for you?"
Well, is there a room available?
Yes, there's a room. It's 1 gold per day, five for the week.
Okay, I'll take it for 1 day. And is everything all right, madam? You sure you don't need any help with anything? You look a little bit.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
If you ever need a hand, though, just be sure to call.
Thank you. That's rather kind of you. Here, you give her the gold, and she hands you a key to your room. It's just upstairs, right on the second door to the left.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
It's suddenly she's like, "Hey, am I gonna get my ale anytime soon?" "Yes, sir." She's like, "Yes, sir. Just in just a moment." And she goes back and she fills up a pint of ale and hands it to him. And suddenly the man himself, before you go anywhere, basically the man himself takes a drink. He's like, and he spits out. He's like, "This isn't ale. This is barely fit to make hops. Ugh, I've tasted pig shit that tasted better." And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." It's like, "Here, I'll get you a new one." "Yeah, you better."
I heave a sigh. I know, trying to weigh my options whether or not it's worth getting involved, or if that's just going to cause me trouble.
At this point, however, you see what you can only assume to be her brother. I'm guessing because he walks up right up to her and right up to the guy, and he says, "Hey, you will treat my sister with respect." He's like, "Yeah, well, what you gonna do about it, pretty boy?" And he says, "I'll fight you if I have to." He's like, "Right." He's like, "I will." All right. I'll all right then. I'll give you one free shot. And he just the brother just takes his fist and just punches the guy right in the face, and he's like, that's all. In the one guy just cracks his neck and says, "Is that all you got?" And at this point, the rather stupidly, the kid goes in and swings at him again. This time, however, you know, by the way, this guy is like, the guy he's punching is like, looks rather overweight. He looks like kind of a brigand sort. Catches his fist and then punches him in the face. At this point, the brother draws his sword, and the entire gang from the behind the guy also draw their weapons, and like, which are assortment of like clubs, daggers, and long knives. Fight's about to a fight's about to break.
Yeah, whether or not this is going to bite me in the ass, I think like, damn it. All right, let's get this over with.
Okay.
I do have a light crossbow, so while everyone's being distracted, quick reloading it, and have the dagger on standby if needed, because the longsword's not so good in close quarters.
What are you talking
and
about?
Basically, I get their attentions like, the next person who swings their weapon at anyone gets a bolt in the face.
Dear God. At this point, however, at this point, you didn't notice this at the time. There's actually one of the brigands that's actually standing right next to you, and he takes his axe and he just cuts it into your crossbow.
And he just launched the bolt.
Yeah, not quite. He actually broke the crossbow. So you're gonna have to remove the crossbow from your inventory.
All
right. So, and yeah, at this point, roll initiative. All right. Oh dear guys, I'm scrolled all the way up for some reason. All right, you're going first.
Mm-hmm.
And then the brother is going third. All right, what are you gonna do?
Right, I'm assuming immediately after he whacked my crossbow, via reflex, I basically stick the dagger right on his throat, and he's like, "You try that again, and you're losing your head."
Oh, so you're just gonna threaten him? All right.
Well, first, draw blood on it. Basically, not really damage him, but basically, if he moves, he's dead.
Okay, roll intimidation. Yeah, he just sits right down in the chair and starts sipping his ale.
That's
it is now the main boss guy's turn. He takes his club and he runs over and swings it at you. Oh, what's your armor class?
Dodge. Chain, so that'd be 16.
Yeah, he hits you. He does 4 damage to you. He takes it. Yeah, so he just takes his club and he just whacks you in the head with it. It is now the brother's turn. The brother's turn, and he takes his sword and he swings, and like he swings his sword, and it's unfortunately one of the brigands raises up his arm, and the sword gets caught in his arm. Next, another one of the brigands. He runs up with a long knife and he goes to stab the brother. But unfortunately, unfortunately for the brother, his armor is actually a little bit too much for the dagger, so it just deflects the dagger itself. Um, another brigand that is like who's just sitting across from the guy who went and axed your crossbow, basically stands up and he just pulls out 3 knives and he throws them at you. One of them misses. The other 2 manage to hit. 5 damage in total. At this point, it is the last thief's turn, which he is he just runs out of the room. He leaves as fast as he possibly can. It is now your turn again.
Right, so basically the guy who basically he whacked me across the chest with the club, and it's like, you shouldn't have done. I'm like whispering to myself, you really shouldn't have done that. And so I have my own sword and gripping it with 2 hands this time because the dagger's not going to be too much use in the other hand.
Right.
And I basically have at him.
Roll an attack. Okay. Unfortunately for you, well, this guy is very slow and lugged. He does kind of see you draw your sword, and he has enough time to get out of the way before you can really slash at him. It is now it is now his turn. Okay, he takes another swing at you. This time he only does. Oh yeah, sorry. This time he does 4 damage. Although, actually, make a Constitution check real quick.
Constitution save or check?
Constitution save. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. So okay. So yeah, he just hits you in the head again. Like this guy just does not care. And it is now the brother's turn, and this time the brother kind of sees that you're having trouble, so he takes his sword and he charges the one guy, and he hits him like right in the back. Like he just takes the sword, hits him right in the back, and he deals 8 damage to the brigand. And you can and like from the looks of it, the guy who just hit you with it, like he's just got a sword in his back and he's like gasping for air. Like he's looking rough. He's not gonna last much longer. All right, it is now the other one's turn. Okay. So one guy, he takes a after the one guy after the brother charged after to help you. This guy comes up behind him and stabs him with his long knife. Yeah, he hits the brother square in the back with his long knife, going right through the chink in his armor, and it deals 3 damage to the brother. Next it is the other thief's turn, and he picks up and he doesn't have any more weapons now, so he runs at you and he's going to try and punch you, and he manages to hit. He deals 2 damage.
Which puts me at 0 life points, apparently.
Ooh. So he just punches you in the face, and I'm gonna make.
Wait, do I have second wind? Does that help at all?
Second wind, you can like I think second wind is like you use it to spend it to gain another attack, but I'm not sure. I have to check. I gotta check what second wind does. This is why I keep the player's handbook open. It's always useful. So you're a fighter, right?
Right.
Okay. Oh, You have a limited well of stamina you can draw to protect yourself from harm. On your turn, you can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus your fighter level. Yeah, I'll say that you can use it, because why not?
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to rest in order to gain them back up. So
Yeah,
1d10.
roll 1d10. You gain 7 hit points back. So yeah, he punches you and you look like you're knocked out, and like suddenly, like right as you're about to fall to the ground, you just like shoot straight back up, and I'm gonna give you a free attack on him.
All right. Basic. I have at him once again with the sword. This time, I'm basically is like, now you've done it.
You hit him. Roll damage. You just reach out, grab this guy, and then you just drive your sword into his chest. At this, you actually hear like one of the people kind of scream in kind of fear, because the blood just got everywhere, and this guy just got impaled in front of him. You kill him, and it is now your turn. Oh, sorry. Wait, one more thing. At this point, though, you suddenly see the door open, and the guy who ran away, he's back, but now he's actually wearing his armor.
What type of armor he's wearing?
It's leather armor. The others weren't wearing any armor.
Okay, so this guy's gonna be a little tougher. Wonderful.
All right. He also has his sword with him. All right. It is now your turn, though.
Immediately, I basically grab my dagger from this little sheath and throw it right at him.
Okay, roll to hit. Okay, you hit. Roll damage. Yeah. You just like, he walks in and you just stick a dagger in his chest, and he looks like he's about to. He looks like he's like just like he walked in all confident, and now he looks like he's going to die. All right, it is now. It is now the one guy's turn who's in front of you. He's going to take another swing at you with his club. This time, however, his club just kind of clinks off your armor, and unfortunately, is unable to do anything. It is now the brother's turn, and at this point, the brother just, he takes a swing with his sword, and he cuts off the head of the brigand who's like who just tried to hit you with the club. Unfortunately, though, he still gets attacked by the guy who was right in front of him. So the guy that's behind him goes to like pull out his long knife to go and stab the brother again, and he actually, when he pulls it out, he actually stabs himself. And oh my god, he deals 5 damage to himself with his dagger. And now the guy who just entered the room, it's his turn, and what he does is he pulls up a strange looking crossbow, and he fires it right at you. He hits you by the way, this is a very interesting crossbow. It fires, and then it fires a second bolt immediately after the first one. He hits you with 2 crossbow bolts. Jesus. And you only dear God, you only take 5 damage. He fires both crossbow bolts. However, you kind of knocked off his aim a little bit, so he only hit you in the leg and in the lower abdomen. So you didn't take much, and there wasn't anything very lethal about that shot. And it is now your turn.
Right at this point, I think it's like there's only 2 guys left, or is he the only one left?
There are 2 guys left.
Okay, the guy that's
one of them is like sitting down sipping ale. The others are dead.
Yeah, the guy who's sipping his ale. I have no quarrel with him at the moment. We'll fix. I'll talk with him after I take care of the guy with the crossbow.
All right.
Longsword again.
So you're gonna go. You're gonna run up to the guy with the crossbow and take a slash at him. All right. Roll damage.
Yes,
Yeah, you go and you just cut you cut this guy in half. Like you take your sword and you with both hands you just slash it right through his waist, severing the top half of him from the lower half. And yeah, he's dead. Like he falls to the ground dead immediately. And it is now the brother's turn. He turns around and he's going to stab the one guy who attacked him, and he succeeds. And the other brigand is slain. He deals 4 damage to him, and that kills the last brigand. So you killed all 5 of them, all 5 of the 6 brigands. And at this the brother kind of gets regretful at the fact that he had just killed the man, and he's like, no, he should have come.
I grab my dagger from his chest or whatever, if it's still in there.
At this point, though, the sister is just like, oh, no, not again. And suddenly, at this point, you feel the room go cold, as if the air itself has like been devoid of all like life in it. Like everyone goes quiet, and you hear a cart pull up. And it stops, and you see someone enter and the tavern doors open. You see a man that you have not seen before, but he is wearing dark robes, and he is hovering slightly off the ground. And and follows behind him are undead skeletons and zombies who take the corpses of the individuals, and they drags them out to the cart. And he approaches both the brother and you, and to the brother he hands him 20 red gold coins, and to you he hands you 30. And he says, "Pleasure doing business. I look forward to future endeavors together. There is more for that if you gather me any more corpses to my cause. Have a good day." And he basically like glides out of the room itself and out of the tavern, into the cart, and the cart pulls away from the building.
Right then, that just happened.
You also notice that the guy who was sitting down sipping ale,
Is he trying to sneak off?
He's gone.
Damn it.
His clothes are still where he was sitting.
Well then, this just got more complicated.
By the way, the crossbow that the guy dropped is still there.
Do I grab it for myself then, seeing how I lost my other one?
If you want, oh yeah, sure, dude.
Sure, I guess
this is a crossbow of double shoot. It is an exotic weapon, so you are not trained in it. You're going to need to use it for some time before you are. Right. But when you use this crossbow, it fires 2 bolts at the same target, and it effectively does a 2 crossbow bolts worth of damage. However, it is an exotic weapon, so you will not be able to use proficiency when you use it.
Right.
All right. Other than that, though, the brother kind of looks at you and he's like, "Thank you for helping me, although I wish that
I do apologize to him. I may have escalated by pulling out my crossbow. I do apologize for
he's like
this.
He looks at it and he's like, no, I escalated it when I pulled out my sword. I was just sick of him."
Well, silver lining to this is I guess you don't have to worry about him anytime soon.
I hope.
Hey. It's like, let me buy you a drink.
Thank you.
Thank you,
but I own the tavern. Uh,
Well then, what's the most expensive drink you got right now?
he just looks at you and he just kind of laughs at the moment. He's like, "Thank you. I needed that." He's like, I should probably explain. My name's Drake. This is my sister, Della, and she's behind the counter. She's like, "Hi," and kind of
Uh,
scared about the guy who just came in, but other than that, she's okay.
My name's Tristan. Sorry about the mess.
Yeah.
I'll try and do better next time.
By the way, the blood's actually gone as well.
Yeah, that's handy. Uh, right.
That necromancer scares me. He says,
Magic.
Indeed. And he's like, hey, and he looks at his sister. He's like, how about we all have a drink? And she's like, and she already pulled out the pints and like poured ale into each of them. And at this point, I'm pretty sure all of you just kind of take a drink at the same time.
Make a small toast, basically.
Well, I was thinking
better times ahead.
I was thinking more along the lines of a nervous. Everyone's just drinking at the same time because okay, that just happened.
Alright.
But at this point, Drake just kind of looks at you and he's like, "So, what brings you here?"
Well, originally I was just going to find a place to stay here for the night while I do my business around town, seeing if anyone was in need of assistance. But I guess good thing I did stop, or else this might have been a lot worse.
He looks at you and he's like, "Well, there is one thing that the town probably could use. You'd have to go talk to the mayor though if you want to do it. He's been looking for some people to solve the problem."
Does this problem have a name?
Yes. Orcs and goblins, unfortunately. Greenskins and the like.
The usual problem.
Indeed. But
right.
You'd have to talk to him if you want to know more.
I would do that, but first I feel like I could take a nap right now, so if...
In the morning?
I just got done basically busting up quite a few limbs and taking a few lives.
He says, alright then, have a good rest. So I take you up to your room, you lie down on the straw mattress.
I drop my packs and whatnot.
Yeah, you take off your armor and you just lie down on the on the mattress, and you get a good 8-hour rest. So recover 8 hit points from your pool. And then yeah, your stamina is restored, and it's still daytime. Like you got there early morning, so now it's around it's around late afternoon now.
I basically stretch, put on my gear minus the stuff that would be not quite so useful around town, and then I walk downstairs, ask if I can get a quick bite to eat before I head out.
She essentially she's like, sure, 5 gold pieces for the meal.
Yeah, very well. Here you go.
All right, and she walks to the back, and you hear her cook, and it smells delicious. And she comes out, and there's a bowl of stew, a chicken leg, and so some bread. Some bread pieces that are a piece of bread that's on the dear God, I can't speak. A piece of bread that's on the plate, as well as a drink of water, a glass of water.
Thank you for the meal, ma'am. And I sit down and I savor it for a few minutes before I start actually digging in and
it tastes really good.
Yeah, I'm like, this has been too long.
Yes, you see now why it cost 5 gold for the meal, and it's worth every single gold piece.
Sick.
But you very unfortunately though the meal ends far too quickly. You eat the freshly baked piece of bread and the soup and the chicken like very short order, and it's gone far too soon for you. You're like, no.
It's like, I also leave a 5 silver tip basically as well.
All right. She's like thank you, and Safe travels.
You two keep out of trouble as well.
We'll
Unless I come and have to
try.
help.
But we're a tavern. It seems to come to us.
In that case, I may have to come around more often.
Okay,
And as I walk out the door,
so
and
where are you going?
I slowly stroll over to the mayor's place. I'm not exactly rushing there, so I can take in the layout and whatnot.
Yeah, you take in the layout, but it's, oh, 1 second. Oh, sorry about that. Possibly just blew up my microphone there. You managed to, sorry. Yeah, you take in the layout. You head towards the mayor's house. It's pretty obvious which one it is. It's the only building that's really made completely out of stone. And it's kind of, it is a, like, sort of medieval style manor, in the sense that it's kind of like a castle and a manor at the same time.
So it's more of a sort of a palace than a castle for
Well,
fortifications. Why is it more
it's no,
luxury
no.
then?
It is a medieval manor, so it does have the defensive structure of a castle, but it is not actually a castle or like a palace. It is essentially just a fortified house.
Right. Right. Is there anyone outside the door, like guarding it, or is there just?
Not
Can I just knock on the front
not
door?
really. You can just knock on the front door.
Is there? Do I use my fist, or is a more civilized method of like a doorbell?
there is a door knocker. However, you need to roll a intelligence test, to history check, to see if you actually know what that is. You don't know what that is. You just think it's decorative.
Right. Okay. So I knock.
You hear some feet stomp over, and then the door opens, and there's a what you can only assume to be the personal guard, one of the personal guards of the mayor. And he's like, "Oh, who might you be?"
My name is Tristan. If I cannot make an appointment with the mayor, just tell him he may be able to find someone help out with his problem.
Oh, you're here for that. Come on in.
Okay.
He opens the door. You walk inside, and he closes the door. It's on the inside. It's it is a manor, but there is not like lots of space. Like, the hallways are actually fairly small. And so are the rooms themselves. But he takes you over to the mayor's office. He opens the door. He's like, "Mr. Mayor, this man here is here to talk about the problem." He's like, yes, come in.
I walk around in. I make myself as presentable as possible.
After the door closes, he's just like, he shakes his head, and he's just like, "I still don't understand why they call me mayor."
Is there a problem, sir?
No, it's funny. It's just that no one seems to realize I'm the count.
Ah.
He just kind of chuckles at the fact there. He's like, unfortunately, the reality of it is that in the kingdom of Avalon, my province is one of the lesser developed, so I don't quite count as a count yet officially. Let's use the pun.
I can give a soft chuckle and say, "Indeed, my lord, indeed." Sort of like returning the gesture in kind.
Yeah, he's like, so you said you can help us with our orc problem.
Yes, I heard that there's an orc problem, and you're looking for able men to deal with it.
Indeed, I am. The reward would be 300 gold if you can manage to deal with our orc problem. The problem is actually an orc camp nearby. I have been gathering men for some days to go out and deal with the problem. If you are willing to sign on, we are paying 300 gold a head for mercenaries such as yourself to help instruct the levies, as it were, and lead them.
Sounds like my type of deal.
Ah,
Is there any paperwork that needs to be signed, or is this more of a...
yes. Oh, thank you. You're literate. This he opens up like kind of the drawer behind him. He's just like, okay, contracts for agricultural, no, contracts for wood cutting. Oh, save that for when. How did this get here? I should. It's like baby picture. Oh, here it is. And he pulls it. He pulls it out. And there's this big stack of paper. He's just like, would you be filed under ex-war veteran or experienced mercenary or I can't read that. Would you be yes? Would you be under experienced mercenary or former military leader?
More of a mercenary myself.
Okay. In that case, he pulls out this paper. He pulls out a paper. He sets in front of you. Sign right here.
Can I quickly scan it before I
Yeah,
sign it?
it's pretty basic. It just says, I, and then a blank line for where your name would go. Do solemnly swear to this contract of my own free will to clear out the goblin and orc camps to the northwest and lead a company of levies, upon which I shall receive 300 gold pieces for my work. That's the basic gist of it. There's obviously more legal words and stuff in there that are basically legal nonsense, but that is essentially what the document says.
Do you have a quill, good sir?
He's like, it's in your hand.
So it is.
It's just, it's like,
I sign the name.
okay, you sign your name, and after you do, your like name lights up with a reddish glow, and the sigil of the count, or well, count slash mayor, appears on your wrist. And he's like, excellent, the contract is signed. And he says, and you also see that, by the way, do you have like a symbol for your mercenary?
Like, personal symbol, like a personal coat of arms of sorts?
Personal coat of arms or anything?
I've been working on one, but I don't know if I...
If you don't have one, then basically basically a dot appears on the hand of another one of the what you thought was a tattoo of like about 100 dots on his arm appears on his forearm, his left forearm. And he's like, the contract is signed and we are bound to it. Please go out, and if you would like to inspect the men, that would be they're just out in the courtyard behind my house. They're getting ready to move out, so I suggest you make yourself ready.
Indeed. It's no time like the present.
You go out, and there's a retinue of about 300 men, about 50 spearmen, about 50 archers. You can tell some of these men are like hunters. As he said, it was a levy, so this basically just means he's like kind of drafted a lot of the militia into it. And the various others make up swordsmen and other unorganized rebel. And there's about 30 people who you can tell are mercenaries or ex-war veterans who are kind of directing everyone around.
Is there any way I can get them their attention by literally just doing the drill sergeant attention?
You could, but you wouldn't be the one in charge. You haven't talked.
True.
You haven't talked to the man in charge, and you can clearly tell who he is. He's the captain of the guard, and he's very easy to distinguish. He has a metal sash that goes across his waist that basically kind of declares that he is the guard of the captain of the guard. And he's just sort of standing there, and he's kind of directing everyone, and everyone's grabbing their gear and getting ready.
And I guess I walk up to him, offer a salute, and tell him that Tristan is reporting for duty.
He's like, Tristan, I've heard of you before. That's right. You helped save that village down south, if I remember correctly. Oh. Oh, good to have you with us. You will be the leader of Squad 3. And he hands you, and he points over to where a couple of the swordsmen are standing. They also seem to,
Alright.
some of them even have a couple of backup range weapons with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, please gather your gear. We're moving out within the hour.
Right. So do I go over to greet the man, inspect the troops, so to speak?
I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you have to gather your gear though. So if you want to get your stuff from the tavern, like that's
Right, I should probably do that first,
all right.
then.
So you quickly, hearing that you're going to be moving out in the hour, you run back to the tavern, grab your stuff, and you very quickly say goodbye to the brother and the Drake and Della before you leave.